A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back again to our program Learn Arabic. I think that we discussed in the previous episodes, my dear guests, Osama, Mustafa, Talha, and Muhammad, we discussed, how many alphabets did we discuss so far? Phonetically and syntactically, if I would say that. We discussed, I think, how many?
Now, two letters,
two,
right?
Sounds. So, Alif, and ba. Phonetically, a and ba. Yes. Right. Okay. So, do you have any question about those two alphabets, a and ba? Okay.
I think we'll have learned them more.
Okay. Now, I would like to move on here to the third alphabet in Arabic, which is ta.
Yes.
As you know, that in English we do have the sound ta, right? And in Arabic we have also the alphabet ta, which is pronounced ta. But I would like just to know what's the difference between ta in English and ta in Arabic. It's pronounced like a clear frontal English ta, but unlike ta in English, no aspiration in pronouncing it. Very interesting.
So please, Ahmed,
Yep.
what is meant by aspiration here?
Well, I think that this is very interesting, Osama. Aspiration here means, we discussed before that if we would like to produce or pronounce any alphabet, we must have certain level of air stream coming out from the lungs.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, the air stream coming out from the lungs, passing through the oral cavity here, or the nasal cavity here, and coming out from the nose or from the mouth. If the air stream coming out from the mouth with any explosive air stream, with any explosion like ta, pa, can you see that?
Yes.
It's described as aspiration. So aspiration means stopping or the stoppage of airstream, which actually is coming out from the lungs and is stopped in the oral cavity and then released suddenly
with an explosion.
Without an explosion sometimes, or sometimes with explosion. But if we have explosion, it's called aspiration. But anyway, so we have aspiration of airstream, and that probably may distinguish ta in English, not in Arabic. In Arabic, we don't say ta. But in English, you can say, for example, table, table, or any other word starting with T in English. But in Arabic, we don't have that at all. We say ta. Ta. Right. Okay. So this is probably one of the distinctive features between, but again, they are very close together in other certain features. And when it comes to the phonetic level, we can understand more about that. Hear that. Pronouncing the letter ta. The voicing status again. Here in the voicing states, you can find that the airstream doesn't make any kind of vibration in the vocal flaps. So that means it's described as a voiceless sound.
Voiceless.
Yeah. So can you pronounce it again? See, ta.
Ta.
Ta. Ta. Ta. Ta. Please.
Ta.
Here you're not just pronouncing. Well, you're not just saying ta. You are pronouncing ta. So you are just mentioning the sound. You're not actually saying the alphabet. Again, I'm not saying here ta. I'm saying ta. 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 Can you see that? Okay. So you cannot find any vibration here at your larynx. So we say ta. Okay. The second important point here is the place of articulation, alveolar. Yeah. Ta is described as a alveolar sound. That means that the airstream which is coming out from the lungs here and coming through the oral cavity here, can you see that? And then what you can find here is that please focus more attention on the body of your tongue.
Yeah.
Because when you say ta,
Ta.
ta, ta, can you describe where is your front, the tip of your tongue?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
I think here the tip of the tongue touches the teeth ridge.
Exactly. Exactly, Usama.
So I think that is what is meant by alveolar?
Absolutely, yes. So alveolar here means that the tip of the tongue always actually touches the alveolar ridge, the upper teeth, probably the backyard of the upper teeth. So we say ta,
Ta.
ta. Can you see that? Okay. So this is about the place of articulation. The manner of articulation is described as a fricative sound. Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
The air stream, as I said before, coming out from the lungs, moving through the oral cavity. We have here the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge, and then it's coming out from the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. But when we produce the sound, we have certain level of friction.
Yeah.
We don't have here stoppage of the air stream. That's why it's not a stop sound, by the way.
Yeah, that's why we are saying fricative.
Exactly. We say that this is fricative. That means when we say ta, ta, we have certain level of friction. And friction means obstruction of the air stream while coming out from the mouth.
Yeah.
But we don't have complete stoppage like pa or like ba in Arabic, something like that.
Yeah. So there is enough space through which the air stream comes out.
Exactly, Usama. So what's happening here is the air stream is coming out from the lungs, it's coming out from the mouth, and we do have very narrow, as Usama said now, very narrow space. Yes. Because we have friction happening because of such limited space in the oral cavity, and that's why we say that this is a fricative sound. So again, I would say again that this is a voice sound, it's alveolar, fricative, and oral sound. But this is about the phonological level for producing the sound. Here is the main point for me. How can we write it, or how can, well, I'm repeating the question once again. First, we write the body from right to left.
Yes.
So again, this is a very common feature for producing this alphabet.
So, and I think it is the distinctive of writing all the Arabic language.
Absolutely,
all the Arabic letters.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
We cannot, for example, write a word in Arabic starting here, like for example, bab, as we discussed before. So we cannot, for example, write here in this way.
Yeah.
That is wrong. Probably it could be very close to this. Some people may make argument with me saying, well, we have the same shape. Yes, it's the same shape, but that's the wrong way to start writing from left to right. So you have to start from right to left. Okay. So first we write the body from right to left, beginning with small hook in this way. Okay. This is the small hook, and it takes the shape of the angle, 90-degree angle. Can you see that? Okay, so here is it once again. And then let me just read that.
Yeah.
Then continue straight along the line and end with another hook for the tail. Okay, here it is. So I'm going to start with a very short hook, going through the line and ending the tail with another one here.
Yeah, so it is like ba.
Exactly, Usama. Yeah. Exactly.
But I think here that the difference between ba and ta, that we have two dots, and the dots are upper
exactly. It's above the letter. And here's the main point for writing such ta, which is, secondly, we place two dots above the letter. Some people may say, should we put two dots? I mean, is that a must? Can we put just one dot? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Can we put three dots? Well, if you put three dots, you will change the letter completely to another letter, which is tha. We can discuss that in the following episodes.
Yeah.
But here is the main point for me again. Ta. I probably might ask all of you now, just if you can write that in your paper. Can you do that? Okay. Yeah, please. Go ahead and show me how can you write it. Okay. Well, excellent, Mustafa. Okay. Well, that sounds great. Okay, I like that. Okay. So anyway, you can find also different shapes for writing this ta. But I found that in the when Mustafa actually wrote the letter, it's probably smaller than the letter of Talha. Right. So Talha here wrote that in this way. Mustafa wrote this in this way.
Yeah.
Is there a difference? No, of course.
No.
It's just the difference in size. But it's the same alphabet. So again, don't be just sticking to the size of the alphabet. It depends on the size of the paper. It depends on the size of the font. So it's something up to you actually to choose the right size for such alphabet. Anyway, so again, what we have here, we have two dots, and we have a small hook, straight line, another hook. Okay, now let's move on here to, again, as we used to do, initial position, medial position, and final position. Journalists, do you still remember ba?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you still remember when it comes in initial position? Is it connected or disconnected? Do you still remember that?
Yeah.
For ba. I still remember
What's it?
that it was always connected.
Connected, yes.
Right.
Yes.
It's the same for ta. And by the way, you can find here another distinctive feature for producing the Arabic alphabets, which is, you can find, for example, some letters are very close to each other.
Yes.
Like, for example, ba, ta, tha.
Yeah.
I can show that to you. Here is it. Ba, ta, and tha. We will discuss this letter after in the following episodes. Also, you can find some
Jim.
other alphabets, like, for example, ha,
Yes.
kha, j, jim.
Jim, yeah.
Right. You can also find fa, qaf.
Yeah, please, Ahmed.
Yep.
Here we are speaking about similarities in the shape
Yep.
inside the Arabic language.
Exactly.
So are there any confusion between the letter ta, or the sound ta, and other sounds in the Arabic language? As we do have in English, we have some confusion between ta and da. In such words, for example, when I say better, so
Yeah.
generally speaking, native speakers of English, generally, it tends to be a D.
Right.
Okay,
Exactly.
so they sound
Or
not
full.
better, but better.
Right.
So
right.
it
Or
sounds
probably
like a D.
flapping rap.
Yeah.
This is very important to Osama. It's a linguistic phenomenon that probably is found in English, but it's not found in Arabic at all.
So we don't have any confusion.
Exactly. We don't have something like that at all. So you can find that the sound in English is changing from one position to another position, especially when it comes to, you said now, a very important example. And here you can find that the sound here actually is moving from the voicing state to voiceless state, something like that. But this is not actually found in Arabic. I think that is very important to Osama to mention something like that. As I said before, we have standard rules for writing Arabic alphabets, and that's why it's not difficult language as most people claim in the West.
So
it's
it
a
is
very easy language.
simple to learn.
Exactly. Just all you have to do to practice and to train yourself, and you can find yourself to be perfect.
Yeah.
I think that we're gonna have a break, and after that, we'll be right back.
Be proactive. Dr. Haitham Al-Haddad teaches us how to take a conscious control over our life, set our goals and work to achieve them in Islam. Take firm steps towards your future. Be positive and be proactive.
Every single Muslim needs to have in order to be an effective person.
So proactivity in Islam, how to serve our religion and how to serve our life and our guides through all of this.
The proactive person is always motivated. The proactive person always have high ambition. The proactive person, he will not lose his time. He will not waste his time. The proactive person is a generous person.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome once again to our program Learn Arabic. So we discussed now how can we produce ta in Arabic, and I would like just now to wrap up how can we finish writing this alphabet in Arabic, which is ta. And I think that we discussed also that is in Arabic alphabets, you can find, for example, some letters are very close, very similar to each other. And Usama now raised a very important question about if we can find variations for one letter that probably may have more than one pronunciation, which probably something can be found in English, but it's not found in Arabic at all, Usama, as you know. And so let me just start with writing this this alphabet. We start writing that by, of course, from the right side to the left side by a small hook, continue straight, a long line, and end with another hook for the tail. So it looks like now ba, with the exception that ba, the dot is below the letter, but in ta, the two dots are above the letter. Secondly, we place two dots above the letter. Now, let me just move on here to the initial position, medial position, and final positions. That's very important actually to know, because we have different shapes for ta, as we do have different shapes for ba. And when it comes to ta here, ta, when it comes to initial position, do you still remember ba?
Yes. Yeah.
In initial position.
Initial position. It is always connected.
Connected.
Yeah.
So it would be the same in ta. Here is the question that I'd like to ask. Do you think because they are closely similar to each other, they have also the same features when it comes in writings?
Yes.
It could be.
Should be cool. It could be.
Right. It could be. But anyway, so in initial position, it always comes disconnected. I'm just now, I write the letter in initial position. Please do the same on your scratch paper, please. So here is it. Okay, let me just take the first word here. Tawasul, which means communications. Okay, here is it. Two dots. I think that we discussed also another alphabet in this word.
Yeah, which is A.
Which is A. Excellent. So here is that. Can you see that? It comes in initial position, in the medial position.
Medial position, and it is disconnected.
Disconnected. Exactly. Can you see how can I write that again? Here is it. Can you see this?
Yeah, from top down.
Right. So I did not make that in this way. I'm sorry. I didn't make that in this way.
Yeah,
of course. Well, so now, here is my focus for 10. Well, we discussed before how can we write this alphabet as an independent shape, which is in this form. Right. But when it comes in initial position, it always comes connected with the following one. So in this way, what's happening here is that we write a small hook. That's probably the first thing. Here is it. Can you see that? I'm going to start this again. Please focus more attention on that, because you're going to also write that in your scratch paper. Okay, here is it. Small hook. And then straight the line. Okay. And then we put two dots here. Just two dots. Please don't do here, don't put just one dot, and don't put three dots.
It is to confusion. So we have na or na.
Exactly. Because just one dot probably can change the letter completely. And if you change the letter completely, probably the meaning of the word could be also completely changed. Anyway, so here is it. So I wrote that once again here. Put two dots, and then I completed doing that. Can you write that in your paper?
Yes.
Yep, please go ahead. Show me that. Okay. I would repeat it once again on writing. Here is that. I don't care actually about the following sounds, but
we're just focusing about
Can I see that, please? Excellent. Well, that sounds great. Okay. Well, that's excellent. Okay. So this is when it comes in initial position. How about in the medial position? Do you still remember the medial position for writing the alphabet ba?
Yes.
Was it connected or disconnected?
Yeah, it's connected.
Connected.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's right.
Is that the same for TAM? I would say
Yeah,
it's
much
the same.
same.
So here is that. Medial position connected shita. Okay. Let me just write that here once again. Okay, here we go. So what we can do here is that shita, which means winter, this is sha, this is my point, ta, and we put here dot. I'm sorry, hamza. Okay.
Yeah.
So here is that. When it comes in the medial position here, can you see this? We put 2 dots. Okay.
Okay.
So again, in the initial position, we start with that.
Small hook and then
Yep.
2 dots here.
Yep. Very small hook and go straight a line. Here also you can find straight a line in the medial position and you put that here. And you put 2 dots.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. Well, this is the medial position. In the final position, sometimes it comes as a connected letter. Like for example, can you give me an example for that?
Yeah, for example, if I said I wrote, كتبت.
Katabt, right. Or I will give you a noun here, bent, girl.
Bent, yeah.
Okay, let me just write that here. In bent, actually, we do have 3 alphabets. Ba, na, and the final one is
Ta.
ta, right. So let me just write that once again here. Ba here, as we said before,
Yeah.
just 1 dot. And then we're going to move here to na. Well, now also we'll discuss noon. This is the name of the alphabet probably in the following episodes. And then we have here the final one here, which is
Ta. Yeah. Final ta.
Yep. Now I can tell you here that we have different, but probably, well, such a difference in writing the shapes of ta, it's not completely different. But we have to focus more attention on the way that we combine that with the previous and the following one.
Yeah.
Okay. So ta here, when it comes connected, it comes in this way. But we should also make a straight line here for the previous one. Do we have following sound that should be connected?
No.
No, because it's coming in the final position.
Yeah.
If it's in the middle position, probably you should find the following one. So when it comes in the middle position here, here is it.
Yeah.
But in the final position here, here is it. So can you please write that again on your paper? Please do it. Go ahead. Let me just repeat it again. And also following me, writing that. Here is it. Ba, na, and ta.
Yeah.
Can you see that, Sam?
Yeah.
And I know that you are asking a lot of questions. Please shoot me if you have
Yes.
any question about ta.
Yeah, no, but I'm
Yep.
asking about,
Yeah.
we do have some letters
Yep.
that are pronounced or that are written connected,
Yep.
but even though it is pronounced separately or single each, we pronounce a single a letter, okay? Such, for example, and this issue is happens in reciting the ever glorious Quran, as we do have alif, lam, mim.
Yep.
It is written alif, lam, mim. Here the lam, for example,
Let me
is
just write
connected.
that here. Okay. Let me
Yeah.
just write that on the whiteboard, because that would be quite interesting question. Here is it.
Yeah.
Alif, lam, mim. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so we have here lam.
Yep.
Yeah, we pronounce here the sound. We pronounce the letter, not the sound. We say lam. So, and this is the name of the sound, but not the sound.
I know. We have Samba. Well,
Yeah.
I think that this is probably can be found in the glorious Quran, right?
Yeah.
But generally, we don't use such words in our spoken Arabic language, do we? I mean, for example, I know like kaf, ha, ya, ain,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Ha, mim, something like that.
Yeah.
Here it is. Can you see that?
Yes.
Now, I agree with you. This probably could be a regular rule for the Arabic alphabets, because here, the alphabet lam is written, and it's not pronounced la, it's pronounced as
Yeah.
as lam,
Yeah.
as a letter.
Yes.
Can you see the point here? So we say alif, lam, mim.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we pronounce it as it is alphabet, as it is letters. So we
Even though
say
it is connected
lam.
here.
Exactly.
Yeah. As we know, when we connect letters,
Yep.
their name changes.
Exactly. But again,
Or the
Osama,
sound.
I think that this is not common in Arabic in the spoken Arabic language. I think
Yeah,
so.
spoken
I think
language.
that's probably can be used in glorious Quran. But I think that's very interesting also. That means you can find some letters that probably can't be pronounced as it looks like in the writing system.
Yeah.
Any more questions, please? So please, once again, I would write any word again. Did you write it? Okay. Well, that sounds great. Okay. I would like, yep, here is bent. Okay. Now, let me just, to wrap up and to conclude writing tab. So how many shapes do we have for writing tab, the alphabet?
Yeah, maybe
2, 3, 4.
4, 5.
Okay. So I can tell you here that is for writing ta in different positions inside the word.
Yeah.
We have the initial position, the medial position, the final position, as it is found here.
Yes.
Oh, I think that this is the final part before moving on to the following
Yeah.
slides, which is here is it. Okay, so here is it. So we said now that is
We have initial position.
an initial position comes connected.
Yeah.
In the medial position comes also connected. In the final position sometimes comes connected, sometimes disconnected.
Yeah.
So to wrap up the different forms for writing tab, I would say that we have here 4 shapes for writing that.
Yes.
The independent shape here is in this way.
Yeah.
And when it comes in initial position, it comes in this way. Can you read? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Please, Mustafa Talha, can you write that on your paper, please? Okay. So when it comes in the medial position, here is it. Okay. When it comes in the
Final position.
final position, right? It comes here in this way.
It can take 2 shapes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So sometimes while it's connected, so it takes that shape. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And if it is disconnected, it takes
Yes, the
the
first shape.
independent shape like the first one here.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
So we
Okay.
have 4 shapes for writing.
4
that.
shapes, right. So it's actually you can find that kind of various shapes for writing the Arabic alphabets in different alphabet that we're going to discuss after that. So do you have any question about tab, please?
No, thanks.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank all of you. Usama, Mustafa, Talha, Muhammad, thank you for all of
Thanks.
you.
Thanks very
And
much.
ladies and gentlemen, my dear viewers, I think that we can discuss more about such Arabic alphabets. So you can discover more about the secrets for the Arabic alphabets. In the following episodes, we promise you to explain more about that. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.